My name is Giselle Woods, and this is my persuasive speech on using mushrooms in medicine. Can you imagine some of the biggest issues in medicine, such as cancer, PTSD, chronic headaches, and Alzheimer's, being resolved by ancient beings underneath our feet? Well, mushrooms are some of the oldest living beings on the planet, originally thought to have evolved on Earth around 400 million years ago. However, with newfound research done by geomycologist Steve Bonneville from the University Libre de Bruxelles in Belgium, Brussels, mushrooms are now known to have evolved over 810 to 715 million years ago. This is largely thought to be because fungi are called the consummate survivors. Mushrooms do not need sunlight, rather, they absorb and transform other forms of radiation, which is how they outlived the great darkness that encapsulated the Earth after the cataclysmic asteroid impact that hit the planet after the Cretaceous Paleogene period. As a result, they helped and changed the ecosystem of Earth following this impact. Despite their interesting nature, many cultures have a deep-rooted aversion to mushrooms. Within the Asian, Slavic, and Mesoamerican cultures, many institutions and much of the general population tend to be mycophilic. It could perhaps be attributed to the fungus association with death and decay within those cultures. English and English-influenced cultures tend to be mycophobic due to some of the perception of poisonous mushrooms and a lack of knowledge towards other varieties of mushrooms that are harmless, even being medicinal. This is why it is so important to raise awareness of the miraculous and fascinating effects of these organisms. Research on mushrooms could double if people are educated on the various effects they could produce, therefore pushing away the stigma of only viewing mushrooms as poisonous and dangerous. Although there are some species that are poisonous, such as the death cap mushroom or fly agaric mushroom, which are the ones with the little infamous red cap seen constantly in the media, according to fungal expert Eugenia Bone, there are over 1.5 million species of fungi. Only 20,000 produce what we know of as mushrooms. Adding that, mushrooms are neither vegetables nor animals, saying that they are somewhere in between. However, mushrooms have proven to have life-altering effects for the better. In a personal, yet fascinating event experienced by mycologist Paul Stamets, where he recounts in a documentary, Fantastic Fungi, The Magic Beneath Us, that he had an extreme issue with stuttering as a child, even going through years of speech therapy, although it still prevailed. Eventually, he ended up eating a bag of psilocybin mushrooms. Although Paul Stamets grew up in a small conservative town in Ohio, Stamets' interest in mushrooms had been piqued by his brother, who taught and showed him the basics of mushrooms, which ended up leading to him eating them. After consuming the bag and experiencing the psychedelic effects of the mushrooms, he began to contemplate his stuttering issue while on top of a tree during a storm. Realizing he could get struck by lightning and die, Stamets began to think about the few things that he had wanted to achieve before he died, leading him to think about his stuttering. As quoted by Stamets, he said that he repeated the phrase, "Stop stuttering now," over and over and over in his mind, and finally climbed down from the tree after the storm had passed, completely soaked. After going home, not encountering any of his family members, he woke up the next day to realize that his stuttering had completely gone away. While this seems like a really impossible event, psilocybin mushroom capsules have been known to be used with post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and addiction patients in controlled therapy. Researchers believe that mushrooms may have the ability to stimulate receptors in the brain and rewire neural pathways to increase neuron connectivity. Although psilocybin mushrooms could be dangerous without controlled therapy and proper doses, along with the stigma of being labeled as a Schedule I illegal substance in America since the 70s, a non-profit medical research center, the Usona Institute, has been given its second breakthrough therapy designated by the FDA. They have even been widely used in Japan, with little side effects. The Hopkins Center recently had a donation of $17 million for research to conduct studies of psychedelic medicines for opioid and alcoholic addiction, Alzheimer's disease, PTSD, anorexia nervosa, and major depression, Lyme disease syndrome, and caring for other cancer patients along with other life-threatening illnesses as well. NYU has also been known to conduct studies on mushrooms in the medicinal field as well. However, while there is wariness surrounding psilocybin mushrooms, research has found a variety of others without psychedelic effects that are used for illnesses such as cancer. But many of these varieties are called lion's mane, portobello, turkey tail, shiitake, reishi, and cordyceps. Turkey tail mushrooms, for example, are a common sight seen on most woodland hikes that are known to produce polysaccharides that help against certain types of cancer, such as gastric cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer, and lung cancer, while other types, such as the Hughes agaricon, make compounds that have been known to block viral pathogens. Paul Stamets has also been able to identify agarikine-derived substances active against pox viruses, including the one that causes smallpox, along with other various strains of human influenza. Stamets' pox discoveries even attracted the attention of the Department of Defense's BioShield program as a potential countermeasure against weaponized pox viruses. One of the biggest factors to mushrooms is that they could possibly change the field of medicine due to their abundance in organic compounds. According to Stamets, fungi are constantly in competition with other fungi, bacteria, and plants for nutrients. They produce lots of different compounds to protect themselves and ensure their access to the resource they need, even stating our best antibiotics come from fungi. Since only 20,000 have been discovered from the possible 1.5 million species not yet discovered, identified, or classified, mushrooms show such a promising future in medicine. If people were able to explore and study mushrooms, there could be cures to diseases not even yet thought of in medicine. Many resolutions to diseases in the past have been thought of as insane or impossible, but had scientists not taken risks or chances to different remedies, we would not have some of the possible cures seen today that help so many people globally. While it may not seem like a pressing issue on the surface, there is a chance one day mushrooms, with a push in research and awareness created educationally, could even one day save yours or my life. I urge you to not only research and educate yourself on these effects, but start conversations with others to think about the mysterious, yet fascinating possibilities mushrooms can produce. Thank you.